Hey, how's it going, everyone? How you doing? For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Derek, and this is my lady, Jordana, aka JoJo. You know, from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's the same one. So, as the title says, we need your help. So, we've been dating for quite some time, about 700 years or so, and we met during the pandemic, and grown quite fond of each other, right? And we had plans of what we should do moving forward since we're long distance. You know, I'm in Vegas, she's in Lithuania, and we kind of thought, okay, something's got to give. And one of the things that made a little bit more sense, since I can work from anywhere, I was like, you know, how about I move over to Lithuania for maybe like 6 months to a year, something like that. We'll save some money, and then eventually we'll make our way back to the States. And that seemed like more of the logical thing, and thing that we were really entertaining until Putin and his Russian forces invaded Ukraine. And I'm glad she's not from Ukraine, because geez, it would be an absolute disaster. But she's in Lithuania, right there. There's Belarus and then Lithuania, right? From the very beginning, things have been hectic. They had a state of emergency, threats. You know, Belarus is aligned with Russia, and it's right there. They share borders. The economy is not doing so well because of, obviously, getting imports from Ukraine and Russia. A little tough when there's kind of warring and stuff going on, you know? A lot of people are suffering. Sanctions in Russia and all this kind of stuff. Everyone's kind of feeling the thing. They're feeling the effects, and things are unfortunately only going to get worse. So it was like, okay, what do we do? Obviously, I can't come over there anymore. That's a stupid idea. Especially when you know what's going to happen. Expect no-fly zone. There's just threats. They're always constantly threatening. You know how the threats are always coming.
Yeah, and recently the Kaliningrad.
Right? Because I mean, at the end of the day, they just kind of want to unify everything. Like, oh, USSR 2.0, I guess, and that would mean all the Baltic states, which is Lithuania, would be reunited to all the way to Kaliningrad, right? Yeah. That would be like the whole thing. And it's like, who knows what's going to happen? The war's not going the way that Putin wanted. Everyone was expecting somewhat of a blitzkrieg, and then boom, let's see what happens after that. Things aren't going so well. Putin might get desperate and do some crazy shit. So what we're trying to do is just prepare for the worst. The best thing we thought we can do to try to at least help with the situation is get her over here to the US to stay as soon as possible. Because I'm not going over there, obviously. So let's bring her over here. We'll elope, which is something that we're going to do actually very soon. And then try to raise some money so she could stay here. We have to do that essentially because of how much it cost to apply. It's already thousands of dollars for her to apply to stay here, to change her adjust her status. But then there's dealing with the lawyers to make sure that everything's filed properly. Because, you know, like, I do my own taxes, I can handle that, but I'm not gonna try to do the paperwork myself to get her to stay here, because I might fudge something up and then she has to just go back, and then we wasted a lot of money and a lot of time. So I wanna make sure that a lawyer properly files on our behalf, and it's just gonna take a little extra money. So we're trying to raise some money. So the first thing I did was I started a GoFundMe. And if you wanna check out the GoFundMe, it's at gofundme.com/AmericanJojo. You know, rolls off the tongue. So you can go there. But also to some people, maybe they feel like they want something in return as well, because I've just given multiple options. Like, for example, the shirt that I'm wearing right now, this is a podcast that I was doing with one of my friends. I'm in a podcast right now called The Snark Tank. And one of the co-hosts, his name's Tom Sweeney, and this was a podcast that we did briefly. And this is kind of like a limited edition type of thing, where you could go to my Teespring at teespring.com/someblackguy, and you can find this store. You can find the shirt. There's other merch there too. You can buy, like, if you guys want to check out my merch store. There's some other silly things, but this is like the latest thing that you want to contribute and also help the cause. Like, buying the shirt could actually help out a lot. I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/someblackguy. And there's some tiers there that can help out. I also have some commission work. I do songs, covers, I do parodies, and people have done a lot of requests. They've asked me a lot of things like, hey, could you do this, could you do that? And I'm like, this is the opportunity that you guys, if you want to help contribute to the cause, you can commission some work for me. I'll do covers, I'll do so whatever you want. If you want parodies of some of the ones that went pretty viral, I can do things like that. So that's just another option, another avenue. If you want to support, you can also get something in return. But if you just want to, you know, support in general, you have the GoFundMe. I do have all the links will be in the description below. I have a PayPal. There's a bunch of different ways that you can support. But if, say, financially, monetarily, you can't support, that's totally okay. You know, it's donations after all, right? You don't try to force people to donate. But at the same time, it would really help if you would just share the links. You shared this YouTube video, you shared the GoFundMe or anything like that. You know, maybe somebody else can see these stories of the stuff like that, just trying to get the word out. Because this is one of those things where I'm like, it's really unfortunate. You know, we wanted to do things under a specific timetable, and then look what happened. I will say though, just like again, like I'm glad she at least is not from Ukraine, because things might be different. She might have been blown up. She might have been blown to pieces. She may not even be alive. She may have been completely homeless. Who knows? She may have been, I'm in Poland now, you know, like luckily that's not happening. But what's happening over there in Lithuania and some other countries, that it's like a slow burn. Like things, they're seeing a gradual decline of their living, and they're like, oh, this is great. Like, thanks Putin. Remember the thanks Obama memes? It's basically now it's like thanks Putin. Like, oh, thanks dude. Appreciate it. Like you screwed up everything for your ego, essentially. You know, there's a lot of propaganda, whatever. We're not focusing on that, but the fact is that there is a war happening and it's affecting millions of people. And so I'm being affected by proxy because my lady is from the Eastern European region, and so now just trying to do something about it to help improve her life. She comes over here, and then her family, her mom and her grandpa that she's leaving behind, they're gonna need some help. You know, if their quality of life is gonna be declining because of the war and all this stuff, they're gonna need some help as well. So my wish is to raise a surplus of money that we can also just give to her family, because it would make everybody feel better, because you know she's constantly worried about that too. And so it's like, damn, let's get the ball rolling, get you legal, start working, you know, establish yourself, whatever you got to do. And then if things get really bad, we know that we have them covered as well. You know, so it's just like it's a stupid situation. You know, it sucks. There's so many people that are affected, you know, and then here I am just using my platform to try to help out my lady and her family, because at the end of the day, if it was just me being affected, I would just suffer in silence. You know, when I a couple of years ago, when I moved to my grandmother's house, my health deteriorated. There's videos I've talked about this before. Something even happened and I could no longer live in the house, and I made a video about it, letting you guys know the situation. You guys have always been very open. I've always been very open about my journey and things that I've done. And you know, I didn't ask for money then. I was just like, I gotta figure out where I gotta live. Luckily, some people that watch me actually offered for me to live with them in Vegas, and that's actually where I am now. So in that situation, I just let them know, and I wasn't like, give me money, I need somewhere to live. I'm just like, whatever, I'll figure it out myself, dude. At the end of the day, I'll you know, I said I'll live on the streets. I know I would never get to that point, but I would be willing to, because it's at the end of the day, I'm like, I'll be fine. I know I'll be fine. I can get a gym membership, yada yada. I can make it. Now I'm not thinking about myself anymore. Now I'm thinking about more people. I'm thinking about, you know, she's part of my family. Now this is a part of my family. Her mom and her family in Lithuania are now technically a part of my family. And so now it's like, I need to think about this and try to do what I can to make sure they're safe and secure, because I know other people would try to do the same thing for me if I was in that situation. I know they would try to do it. And you know, that's just what we do as people. We just try to help people out. So that's what I'm trying to do. So I just want to say thank you to the people that are going to donate. Like, I appreciate you guys so much, because I know there's going to be some support, and I just want to already preemptively say, like, thank you so much. And to the people that just share the links, anything helps, man. Anything helps. So thank y'all. And most importantly, there will be updates. I'll let you guys know what's going on with the situation, how things are going. I'm sure there will be pictures from when we elope, when we actually go. Now, you know, we were talking about just going to the courthouse, whatever. But, you know, if there's a little deal, maybe there's 50% off, I might get married by Elvis, man. Like, $100, you know, I can get a quick little hundo, and then just, we go get married by Elvis, cool. Some nice little pictures, something like that. And then, of course, later on down the road, of course, we do the real thing. We do the real ceremony. We save up the money. We can actually take our time here in America and do like a big thing, you know, because like that's, you know, a lot of people always want to do something like that, but we do what we gotta do. We elope because we gotta elope. It's gonna be crazy though. Your boy, if you're watching this, if you're a brand new person watching this, you know, you may like, you just getting to know me, but the people that have been with me for years on end, they're like, what the hell? Derek's gonna get married? What the fuck, dude? What? I've seen my boy just bouncing around, doing whatever for years, and it's like, yeah, man, I'm getting old. I'm in my 30s. I'm approaching mid-30s, man. I don't look it, but I'm getting up there.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time. You know, it's like, I'm sure my mom and all these people are like, what's going on? When's he gonna settle down? He's gonna have some grandkids. What's going on? And I'm like, working on it. Obviously, it's a little bit harder for me because, you know, not dating regionally. it's a little more difficult. And then of course, the woman that I chose happened to be from an area that's not doing so hot right now. I can't control the way things work, but all I can do is just try to ask for your guys' help and see how things go. But that's it. Thank you guys for listening, watching, whatever, reading the GoFundMe and all that stuff. And yeah, man, take care and stay hot.
Bye.